This program is brought to you by thepodcastfactory.com.
Hi, my name is Igor Kheifets, and this is the List Building Lifestyle, the only podcast which delivers cutting-edge conversion strategies from the online trenches straight to your earbuds. Download the transcript of today's episode and all future episodes at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com. I also invite you to grab a free copy of the Wealthy List Builder Survival Guide at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com/survival. And now, once again, it's time to claim your list building lifestyle. Welcome back to another edition of the List Building Lifestyle with your host, Igor Kheifets. One of the most common questions I get on coaching calls with my VIP clients every single week is, Igor, what happens to my subscriber after day 15 in my follow-up sequence? And then I ask, what's so special about day 15? And my client usually tells me something on the lines of, well, I heard that if they don't buy after 2 weeks on your list, they don't buy. Now, every time I hear that, it's amusing to me because it's not true. And I'm not even sure where people get this, but I assure you, this myth is just bullshit. People don't necessarily make a buying decision anywhere between 7 to 15 days on your list. And nobody said that if they don't buy after day 15, they were never going to buy. And the way I learned this actually myself is after a whole while of emailing my list, because I used to subscribe to the same belief when I started running promotions to my list, and I noticed that people were staying on my list for a long, long time before they would commit to me. Now, this is true both for people who have credibility in the marketplace and people who don't. So if you're thinking, well, maybe it's because I don't have enough proof or something, when I can pretty much get people to buy from me right away and not have to wait for 15 days if I had just enough testimonials and proof screenshots, you're not right. And here's how I know. You see, a couple of weeks ago, we ran a promotion to our list for some traffic where we allowed people to purchase right off the page, which meant they didn't need to necessarily talk to us and for Dennis to send them a buy now link. And I noticed that there was a sale that came in, and I ran this customer's profile in our database, and I discovered that the last time we chatted with that person was back in April 2015, which of the moment of me recording this episode is about 2 years ago. Now, this means that this person stayed on our email list for 2 years, and they were finally ready to commit. Now, 24 months is a lot of time. I mean, you have to agree with me. And it's even more time considering the fact that I have a lot of credibility in the marketplace. I mean, when it comes to solo ads, Igor Solo Ads is the conversation at the dinner table, and everybody knows that we deliver top-notch service. But even in spite of that, we still have customers that take 2 years to commit to us financially. Now, what does that tell you, and why is this useful for you to know? Well, quite simply because if you're just starting out and you're marketing business opportunities, please do not expect for your potential prospects to buy from you in the first 7 days, because most won't. Now, some will, of course. There's going to be a portion of the people that will make a super emotional decision and they will commit to you right away. Now, incidentally, these same people are usually refund happy, so you have to be careful of that. But some will purchase right away, and it's perfectly fine. But most, and especially your best customers, will not buy right away from you, and you have to accept that as truth. And here's another little story to illustrate my point. Yesterday, I was having a coaching call with another client, a VIP client of mine. His name is Frank, for the sake of just for the sake of this conversation, it's not his real name. And Frank shared with me that the first time he heard about me, he applied for my Solo Ads coaching program, which I used to run a couple of years ago, and he decided not to move forward with it at the time. And later on, a couple of years afterwards, he then decided to join my VIP club, which is a $497 per month as of right now investment. So this means that Frank was following me around for about 2 years or 3 years or so before he finally decided to commit to me. Now, once again, I want to remind you that I'm not just nobody in this industry. When it comes to driving traffic, list building, email marketing, I come highly recommended, and my business is well known in the industry. So, it should be surprising to me, right? For somebody to be following me around for 3 years before committing financially, but it's not. It's something that you have to learn to accept, that most people will never buy from you right away. And if you're still stuck believing that your email follow up sequence should be between 7 and 15 emails because of that reason, you should quickly get rid of this belief and you should take on a new belief that's much more useful. And that is that you have to email your entire list every single day and be pitching your product in every single email you put out. Now, this is important to do because A, you don't know when the customer is going to finally commit to you. B, you don't know if the customer is listening. You'd be surprised once again, but a lot of times I'll get sales from emails that went out month ago, because these same people who buy would respond to that specific email, and I would see the date that they received the email when they hit the reply button, and it would be 3, 4, 5, 6 months ago that they received it for the first time. Now, I mean, it can be mind boggling to try and understand this, right? Why would somebody keep my email for 6 months and only then respond to it? Well, people get busy, people get distracted, and sometimes people aren't willing to deal with their problem or pursue a goal until a certain point in their life. And when that point comes, you want to make sure that you've been there all along. So you want to be like a really persistent, loyal, informative and infotaining email marketer that is always there in the inbox, virtually waiting for the prospect to be ready to make a buying decision by constantly emailing and offering your product in each and every single email you produce. And you'd be surprised how many people will remain in your list for years, reading every single email or reading one email a week, but they will remember who you are and eventually they will learn to trust you, because this consistency with which you email them will be the determining factor in their decision to say, okay, let's see what this person is all about. Now, this could be as little as 30 days or as much as 3 years. And the problem here, the challenge, is that you never know how much time any one specific prospect is going to take before they'll make a buying decision. You never know if they already made their decision but they don't have any money, or you don't know if they have the money but haven't made their decision. So you have to email every single day, your entire list every single day. Otherwise, it will simply not work. Now, what this means is that you have to bring a certain type of attitude to the table when it comes to email marketing and never miss a day. This means you have to write every day. This means you have to send an email each and every single, morning or evening or afternoon, whatever the time is for you. And you have to remain consistent about it if you want to influence your subscribers into buying from you. You have to build that momentum and you have to show up with consistency, because consistency and time are two often ignored elements to influence. Remember, we are excited about shiny new things in our life. We are excited about new things, but we're also scared of new things. We're also scared of things we don't know. So by allowing the prospect to see you in their inbox every single day, read your emails once a week or every other day, whatever, you're allowing the prospect to basically start looking at you as the entity they trust because they're familiar to you. A lot of times when I get on the phone with my VIP customers who've been subscribing to my newsletter and listening to my podcast, I get virtually the same, sort of statement that says, Igor, this is the first time we're talking on the phone, but I feel like I know you. I feel like I've been having this conversation with you for a long time. And the reason it happens, which is quite useful as far as marketing is concerned, the reason it happens is because I mail every day and I put a piece of myself into every email. I put an opinion about things into every email. I'm there every single day, no matter what happens in their life, good or bad. I will be there in their inbox, waiting for them around 1 p.m. EST, because that's when I usually mail. So the one concrete thing they can count on every single day, no matter what happens, is an email from Igor. And this conversation really helps carry the sale all the way to completion and all the way through my entire funnel. Okay, so the lesson here for you is, regardless of where you are in your business right now, regardless how much proof and credibility you've got, regardless if you're a guru or a nobody, you have to email every day. you can't afford to miss a single day of emailing, and you want to be super consistent with your efforts here, because that's going to be a primary determining factor for your prospect to decide whether or not to do business with you when the time is right for them. So thanks again for tuning in to the List Building Lifestyle with your host, Igor Kheifets. And until next time we chat, have a good one. Thank you for listening to the List Building Lifestyle. Make sure to subscribe on iTunes or Google Play to never miss an episode. Because who knows, just one conversion tactic we share on the show might double your list and double your business. Download the transcript of today's episode and all future episodes at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com. And don't forget to claim your complimentary copy of the Wealthy List Builder Survival Guide at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com/survival. This is Igor Kheifets, and until next time we talk, have a good one.
This is thepodcastfactory.com.